It was another great day of communication education. Yep, headed off to my 8 a.m. class, and we needed to finish out this chapter on culture. We talked about cultural competency. In the past, we talked about communication competency and how you want it to be high so that you can communicate with different types of people through different situations and circumstances. We even talked about emotional intelligence and how you want that to be high so your emotions don't take control of you, but rather you have control of your emotions. Well, you want high cultural competency as well. So you're able to successfully and effectively communicate with others of various cultures and co-cultures, no matter how vastly different they might be of yours or very similar, but with slight nuances. You want to have high cultural competency, and by that, you might need to force yourself in various cultural situations so you can be exposed more. And it was really interesting that I had to talk about that in class today because, I'm just an adjunct professor. So I got other stuff to do, like interview people for positions in my full-time job. Like I need some folks who have high cultural competency who can work with my various learners. I teach GED and ESL and digital literacy classes and run programs that will help adult learners. But after I finished that, I had to go to my next class where we continued our conversation on culture there as well. Now here, we distinguish the difference between prejudice and discrimination. Prejudice is the belief, right? It's the belief that, you're superior, your race is superior, somebody else's race is inferior for whatever reasons and stereotypes you attach to it. Discrimination is the practice of that bias. It's the practice of that belief system. And so there is always a conversation about if Black people in America and people of color can discriminate or not. And of course, that conversation centers around not whether or not they can believe somebody else is inferior to them, but whether or not they participate and have access to and the resources within the power structure to actually discriminate and practice that prejudice. Man, it was a very interesting conversation. Yeah, it's no right or wrong answer to that. Folks just kind of believe what they believe, and it's all right. As long as we're having the conversation, there is the opportunity to have someone who has a negative perception or some misunderstandings about another race and another culture and help correct that, and maybe they can grow and learn. That's the hope, at least, right? I know a lot of students like to stop by and ask me how they can apply some of this in their everyday life. And I love talking to them because that's what it's all about. Communication education is about improving your communication competency so you can improve your interactions and conversations and communications with others and show up in this world your best self. Great discussions for a great day. Hope you had one too.